What's going on, everybody? Thank you so much for joining this live session. We're supposed to have a lot more people come in, but either way, we're still going to give you the value that you want. Make sure you put an LU in the chat if you can hear me and the music well. Let's go. Let's go. We like to have fun a little bit, with the old, what you want to call it, 70s vibe, you know what I'm saying?
Something like that, little retro.
Yeah, a little retro. Let's go. Okay. We get a little more time, see if anybody else coming to the event. Then we're going to get started. All right. Okay. All right. This is the breakdown part I always like in this 70s joint. You know what I'm saying? I like this breakdown. Bring it down. Let's go. I could be a DJ, be hype man, I could be whatever in my career, but we chose tech. Okay. I know one of y'all popping y'all head out there. Raise your hand.
Hey, look, I see Chucky Hayes in the comments. He played them drums.
Let's go. All right. Boom. Oh. We're just having fun. Get a couple more minutes. We get started in 30 seconds. Let's get started in 30 seconds. All right. Hey, I appreciate everyone that's in here right now. Welcome to the Level Up a Tech Live event, how to land a high-paying role in tech. We want to talk to you about like our journey, what we've done, things that we've seen as far as running our program, that we taught our guests to do. And, even if you're in a role now that's not really high paying and you're in tech, you can still use these strategies to just level yourself up and go get the bag. I know everyone wants to, have a challenging career, but at the end of the day, we go chase the bag, right? We want the money. We want to be paid the most that we ever made in our life. You can put the LUs in the chat if I'm talking to you. If you're searching for the bag right now, put the LUs in the chat. Let me see who's searching for the bag right now. Ain't nobody searching for the bag? Nobody? I'm about to say, nobody's searching for the bag right now? You ain't trying to get paid the most. Bag alert. Chucky, right. Get it? Chucky, get it? Bag alert.
We ain't doing this for free.
Yeah, right. You ain't going to work for free. You want to make the most money to take care of yourself, take care of your family, and we're going to show you how right now. So my name is Broadus Palmer. For those who don't know me, I got my co-host here,
Brian Witcher.
All right, Brian, we'll get it started. Let me share my screen. I'm excited. Yeah, we're going to talk about a lot of things. All right, so let me share my screen real quick. Let's see what we got here. Can everybody see that gorgeous cover right there? How to land a high-paying role in tech. Can you see that cover? Put the L's in the chat if you can see the cover. I want to make sure everybody can see what we're doing. All right, cool. So this is what you want. This is what you've been waiting for. This is how you're going to learn from other people who've done it before. Let me cut some of my notifications off because I think, people are hitting me up. Yeah, I'm getting the team. So, So, look, let's just get straight to it. All right. How to land a high-paying role in tech. Okay. My name, Broadus Palmer. I'm founder and CEO of a Level Up a Tech. After 13 years in the banking industry, I transitioned to cloud. I got tired of, really just not having the career I wanted and not making the money I wanted. And there's nothing wrong with being in the banking industry at all. But I wanted something better. I wanted to be able to prepare myself to the next career. So from there, I was decided that I was going to get in tech, and I had no idea what I was going to do. But the journey that I went through with, and the things that we're going to show you today helped me gain an insight of what I needed to do to push my brand to the next level. So we're going to show you how you're not an employee looking for a job. You're a business trying to sell your services to a company, and you want the highest bidder. You want the company that's going to treat you right. And in the words of my good friend Kanika Tovar, I always say this: we're not marrying jobs, we're dating them. So in a relationship, if you're dating somebody, if they're not treating you right and you're not giving you what you want out of it, you got to move on. We got to find ways to propel ourselves to the next level. Can I get an amen? Yep. So
Amen.
Want my co-host to introduce himself?
Hey, y'all. I am Bryant. I am the director and coaching of development here at Level Up in Tech. I am also an alumni of Level Up in Tech. So I went through the program as well, too, and have landed a role that, pays well, in my opinion. So, I'm also a DevOps engineer for my full-time day job at Threat Connect. And like you see on the screen, I was a police officer with Henrico County for 9 years previously before I started with Threat Connect in January of 2021.
Yeah. So what really made me so special? What experience did I have outside of banking that helped me get into, cloud? Let me share that with you right now, because I want you all to really see the experience that you need. Okay. That's my work experience. All right. I was a musician. I was a rapper on Double XL. I was trying to get in BET. I was trying to do it all. Right. And then we switched into a clothing designer. And, we started selling merch, and merch started going well. So we decided we wanted to design clothes, and we wanted to, make money that way. That failed. Then I became a sneaker reseller, because I'm a huge sneaker collector, and sneakers are a part of my life. And, in 2016 in the sneaker industry, it was just booming. So I decided I wanted to create a business selling sneakers. Okay. That failed. So all of that put together allowed me to get the experience I needed to be able to communicate, bring some transferable skills, and shine like a light, and eventually landed me into a cloud career coaching position. So for my work experience, I wanted to show you what I really had to go through. As you see on the work experience, there's no technical work experience that I had. I knew nothing about tech before I got into it. So Brian, go ahead and share your work experience, brother.
Yeah. Y'all see that one little blip on the screen right there? Well, prior to being a police officer, I was an admissions rep for 2 different for-profit colleges. So it was almost sort of like salaried sales for the most part, right? And previously, before that, I was in college at Virginia Commonwealth University, where I ran track, went to school for them. So that's why you don't see a long work history, because the last 9 years after being an admissions rep, I was a police officer. So again, you see here another example of changing fields completely. And we're going to talk about it even more. Sometimes folks tend to think that I have tech experience as a background. I have absolutely none. Broadus can attest to it.
Yep.
I was doing stuff on a single screen. He was like, "Man, you can split screen." I'm like, "How you do that?" That's the amount of tech experience that I did not have. So, I know we're going to talk more as we go along. So I'll be quiet because I talk a lot. So
it's all good. It's all good. So Tony said, "Wait, you can split your screen." Yeah, you can split your screen, Tony. Listen, put me in the chats if you were the person who thought you had to have some tech experience in order to get a tech. Put me. Let me see. Me. Yeah, all of y'all think you have to have that tech experience. You don't. I do nothing about.
There's also some other myths too that I see folks talk about.
We're gonna get into it though. We're gonna show them the way. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna show them the way. And and shout out to Level Up the Tech alumni right now, Tamara Armstrong, who just accepted an offer as the Associate Cloud Solutions Engineer at a company that I'll let her disclose when she's ready. All right, so let's get into it. Number one step, right? The number one step, okay? Focus on learning a new skill set, right? If you're in a role right now that's in tech, or if you're not in a role, right? Focus on, research and understand where you want to go, like the role that you want, right? And I know that's hard. Tech is vast industry. It's so many things you can do, but just have an idea like, well, what can I do? Start researching, like, what are roles that you could do in tech? You'll see cybersecurity, you'll see networking, you'll see cloud. Cloud is where all the industry is headed to. So anything that you're doing now, I suggest if it has anything to do with cloud technology, you need to move towards it, right? And once you find that role that kind of maybe, right, interests you because you're scared of it, and you're like, I don't know what this is, but you're intrigued. When you find that role, research the earning potential, right? Look at how much can this role really make? Because, hey, if you're looking at a role that, might be transitional for you as far as, a lateral move and you're making the same amount, then you got to look at the upside potential of it. Like, what am I gaining out of this if I work for this company for the next 6 months? Can I work for this company and learn and push myself up to the next level and make more money? Or is this company and this role in this company is just a dead end, right? I'm not going to move up for a long time after this. So you got to weigh it. For those of you who are not really making the money you want, and if this role is really paying the money that you want, you definitely could be a no-brainer for you. Like, let's try. Because when you try, you got to understand it's okay to pivot as well. So if you don't like something, right, if you're trying something and you're just like, this is not for me, you can pivot and try something else. A lot of times those skills that you learn in that role can transfer to another role. And that's called experience, right? So when you're learning things, you can just apply that experience to over here to show how you can solve problems. You got anything to add there too, Brian?
The only other thing I have to add to that is be realistic, right? Be realistic in your timeline. Be realistic in your expectations for salary. But at the end, be real in your expectations to get what you deserve.
Right.
Right.
So, yep.
Yeah. Go ahead. That's it.
So okay. So we're gonna talk more about that too, right? Well, I just want to piggyback as in this industry, we talk about the high paying roles you can get. Those are very possible. Even out the gate for you, it's very possible, right? But you have to show and prove. So you can't go and think that you're gonna research a role and be like, 180,000, that's the role I want. Well, eventually you can work towards that role.
Right.
The beginning role might give you 90 or 100, or might give you 50 or 60 or 70. You got to see if that role is worth it for you to be able to reach that $180,000 goal.
Yeah.
All right. So your mindset is the key, right? Turning frustrations into roadblocks. Or turning frustrations and roadblocks into opportunities to learn. Don't look at when you're learning something, if it doesn't work, don't look at that roadblock as a roadblock. Look at it like, well, let me see how I can fix it. Let me learn and Google and see if other people have solved this problem so I can learn. So when you do solve the problem, that's called experience, right? Document all of that. Document your whole entire process, because that's going to be the key for you showing that you can actually do what you said you can do. All right. Planning and strategizing is essential. Brian, tell them what you talk about when you say planning your day.
Man, when I mean planning your day is when you wake up in the morning, when you have to go to work, if you're a working person, if you have children like I do, I have 3 boys, right? I know what after school activities they have, what meetings my wife has set up. So at that moment, what I used to do when I was in the program, and still to this day, when I'm planning to study around my work schedule, I know what time I have to wake up in the morning and start studying before I go to work, or after work, or in the middle of the day, like whatever time that I have planned out. I literally plan my entire week out, right? Now, assuming some stuff will deviate, but for the most part, I'm sticking to that, especially when I am in my study mode, right? We always call them short sprints, right? You should not be sprinting on one topic for a long amount of time, unless it's a complex subject, whatever. Everything is complex when you're starting off, right? But you really want to plan your time. Our time is valuable, and the more that we take advantage of our time, the faster we can get to our goals.
Yeah. And another thing too, when you say planning your day, understand planning and strategizing is essential. So understanding, like, and Tamara can tell you right now, Tamara's in the audience right now. She planned her day when she started the program, even if you're not in the program. When she started the program, she planned every single day until the end of the program.
Yep.
That's how hungry and that's how bad she wanted it. She strategized. So y'all, everyone has busy lives, right? We got kids, we working, we got family, we just socially active, right? You want to make time for your goals because you don't want to come home and be like, oh, I'll do it tonight. I study tonight. Tonight becomes tomorrow. Tomorrow becomes next week. Next week becomes next month. Next month becomes next year. And you'll be sitting back looking at where could I have been in this year? If I did what I was supposed to do. All right. Am I talking to you? Like, are we really speaking to y'all? If you're getting some value already, put the me in there. I want to see if you're getting the value, put me. Is this valuable? Put me. Please. I want to know if we're giving you the value you've been looking for. All right. Realizing that failing is a great thing.
Oof.
Failing don't matter. Like, it don't mean end all be all, or I failed. I failed my exam, or I failed, putting this project together. Okay. Step away. Come back and attack it with tenacity. If you can't this time, step away and come back again. What you was going to ask?
And for y'all in the audience, if y'all have ever seen any webinars that Broadus and I have ever done, y'all know that, let's see, what was it? Second month in the program at Level Up in Tech. Man, I was failing all my exams. I could get through a project like nobody's business. I had no issue with that at all. Doing it was not the problem. Passing the certification was the problem. And for me, and this is something that I want to talk about because it really affected my mindset, is we are all desperate to get to the bag.
Yep.
Right? But that desperation sometimes, or motivation, let me say, that motivation sometimes you will find out become real temporary when you start failing exams or failing at projects, whatever you're failing at, or failing at your time and your planning, and you start to fall behind, right? That motivation becomes real temporary real quick. And that $100,000 that you were looking at, you start to settle in your mind. I'm cool with 65. If I can just get through these 2 subjects, I'm not gonna be able to finish this. Like, that's a bad mindset, right? Failing is okay, right? Use it as a learning opportunity. And I understand what that is like when you're trying to transition out of one career into the next and you're excited about doing it, right? But look at your failing as that learning opportunity, right? All right, what can I get better at, right? And once you realize that the professionals in IT fail exams too, right? Then you start not to feel so bad about it, right? But maintain that motivation. It's just like when you go to the gym, if you bench pressing 200 pounds, whatever you bench press, I'm just trying to pick an average weight. And you fail at maxing out at 200. What do? You don't just stop bench pressing, right? You go back down to 185 and you rep it out. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Right. So
continue to work.
Gotta work.
Now, if you are already in a role, right? And I don't know if some of you are in a cloud role or a tech role and you're not making the money that you want to make right now. What can you do? Research and learn the technical skills. This is for people who are in roles and are not in roles right now, right? Research the experience you need. So literally, right? Everybody's on LinkedIn. If you're on LinkedIn, raise your hand. I'm going to keep talking, but if you're on LinkedIn right now, raise your hand in the comments. Raise your hand. Give me a hand clap, something.
Yeah.
If you're on LinkedIn, look at the roles that you want to apply for, that you want to work as, right? Research the experience. They tell you in the job description the skills that you need.
And you're not going to have all of those skills.
Right.
It does not matter Still
Right.
apply. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, still apply. So look at aim and get about 50% of those skills, right? Because one thing that's going to happen is if you're waiting until you're 100% fit with a role, then when you're going to get into that role, you're going to get bored. If it doesn't scare you, it's not for you.
Mm-hmm.
Because now you got room to grow. Now you got room to grow. Okay. Look at, are there any certifications you need? Because some companies have partnerships with vendors that they require you to have those certifications. And because that vendor requires them to have a certain amount of certified people. So are they looking for AWS certification? What certification are they looking for? All right. And once you understand the skills you need and what certifications you need, what type of hands-on practice do you need? Mm-hmm. Right? If you're looking at it like what type of projects or what are they doing as a company? Like when you research the company, because you should be doing that as well. When you look at the company, what type of things are they doing? How are they solving problems for their clients? All right. Yeah. That's the things that you need to be looking for. Okay. And how can I get the experience?
This is the key.
Tell them.
Projects.
Okay.
And I don't care. Oh, I forgot. You told me stop hitting the desk when we have live, right? But I mean this when I say it. I don't care if somebody else has done this before. Any project, anything you can find online, GitHubs, repos, blog sites. I don't care. You do it in your environment, notate your errors, and share it with your network. And particularly, I'm talking about LinkedIn.
We're going to talk about that too.
Yeah.
Okay. Talk about sharing. So, yeah. So, Brian is on key, right? Getting creative. When you're doing projects or you're finding training and you're doing labs, get creative and like, what happens if I do this? Okay. If you break it, you break it, right? But now you just learn how to fix it. If you can't learn how to fix it, then you understand why it doesn't work, right? And you look at training and coaching resources too. Find you a good platform to train. You want to find you a great coach that people can help mentor you. But you got to be ready to invest in yourself too. And also looking to get into a program, looking to get into boot camps or programs like Level Up in Tech that has proven track record to help you go from zero to cloud in as little as 6 months. I mean, 6 months might seem like a long time, but 6 months come quick, just like that. Think about it. We was just in June, y'all. It's almost Christmas time. Half of y'all probably been Christmas shopping already. Stop playing. You know what I'm saying? Thanksgiving right around the corner. Stop playing. 6 months quick, just like that. So understanding these are the ways you can gain the experience. Just researching Linux projects or Python projects or cloud projects and just continue to build and build and build, okay? Now, making sure, and Brian put this in there.
I'm sorry.
No. I like this. Making sure you bridge the gap between theoretical studies and production level experience. So what does that mean? Knowing the difference between expertise and experience. So expertise is something that you have where you know what this is and know what it's supposed to do, right? So let's say you're learning a cloud technology like a cloud server, right? And you may not know, the different terms we throw around, but let's say you're learning AWS and you're learning a cloud server in AWS. You know what it's supposed to do. You know what it is. That's expertise, right? You could talk about that. Yes, it's supposed to do this. It's supposed to do that. It's supposed to turn over, flip over. It's supposed to wipe everything down. Yes, it's supposed to do that. But the experience is when you realize it doesn't do what it's supposed to do, then what do you do from there, right? So when you're working on something and it doesn't work the way you thought it should work, how did you solve that problem? Yeah. That is experience. Yep. That's knowing the difference where if you were talking in an interview, and we'll get an interview in a few minutes, but you're talking in an interview and they ask you about something, that's the difference with knowing what it is, but then you can actually talk about how you work with it. Okay? Yep. That's how you can get the experience. All right? Now, I want to make sure everybody's getting value. Put the LUs in the chat. If this is valuable to you, put the LUs in the chat. I want to make sure we're giving y'all the value that you came in for. All right, that's what I want to make sure now. Stop playing with me now. All right.
Hey, I'm going to add one thing onto that, right?
Okay.
If you do something at work and you're looking to turn it into a project, right? Try it in your personal environment, right? And document it. Obviously, don't give specifics for compliance and security purposes, but start bridging that gap between, and when I mean theoretical studies, is the videos that you're watching, the documentation that you're reading.
Mm-hmm.
Right? When you get on the job, don't stop. Right? Keep labbing to learn additional skills, but take that back, right, and turn it into a project in a simulated environment to help people, other people like y'all or me when I was new, to bridge that gap. Go ahead. That's it.
Yeah. So the number one thing you need to do is, this is the thing that's going to help you crack into the industry. Sharing your experience. Okay? So it don't matter if you're scared that somebody gonna call you out because you might have something wrong on your project. It doesn't matter, because in this industry, all you got to do, if you feel uncomfortable, just say, hey, feedback is welcome. All right? So the projects that you're doing, you can literally document them and share them on your social network. Share them on LinkedIn. If you feel uncomfortable, you say, hey, this is my new project I've been working on. All feedback is welcome. The people who really care about your success will give you great feedback.
Right.
And I even dare you, I triple dog dare you to share a project that you couldn't get to work and ask for help.
Yeah.
Because what that's going to do is get people involved that can help to have the experience. And what that does is build a relationship with people who are in the industry. And that's who you have a one-on-one session with that can help. And when roles come up in their jobs, in their company or their organization that they're working in, the first person they're going to think of is you. Because guess what? They worked on a project with you. Sharing your experience, building your brand. That's what got Brian hired.
Yeah. Your personal brand. And I said this the other day, and I know this is going to sound weird, but I mean this on an individual and a personal level. Right. Where are you building your brand? You have to think about that. Your name as a person is a brand.
Yep.
Companies hire brands, right? First they hire skills. Second, they hire a brand.
Yes.
Right. Because what are you turning yourself into is a marketing tool. You want to market your skills. All right. I'm just going to use Threat Connect. I got hired at Threat Connect. All right. Where everybody going to go to look for a job, right? That has the necessary skills. They're going to go look at Threat Connect. They're going to apply, right? Yeah. Same thing. You are a brand. Make your name the brand on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, wherever you build your brand at. Build your personal name and the brand. Same thing like a product. You are the product.
Yes. And remember what I told y'all. Brian just told me, say what I told y'all earlier. You're not an employee looking for a job. You're a business selling your skills and services to a company. Mm-hmm. So with a business, if you have a service or a skill that you're trying to make money off, how are you going to get clients? You think clients just going to come to you? No, you have to say, hey, look at me. Look at what I'm doing over here.
Yeah.
Even if it's new, hey, look what we're trying to do. We're trying to build something here. Feedback is welcome. That's all you have to do. All right. So now, Brian just talked about building your personal brand for step number 3. That man walked right into it. Step out of your comfort zone and start sharing your experiences with your network.
Yeah.
Guess what? I triple dog dare you to create videos sharing how you solve problems and even how you complete projects. You might scare shit out you right now.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm not sharing. Share the videos, create a video, and even if you're not confident, just go through and talk about what you know. And then when in the video, if you're not confident with things, just ask questions like, hey, I think this is supposed to happen here, but if anybody who has experience with this, hey, feedback is welcome. I want to have a conversation so I can make sure, I learn this and get it right. Companies love that because that shows that you're dedicated, that shows that you're hungry, and it shows that you're screaming at the top of your lungs. Once again, look at me. Look at what I'm doing.
Yeah.
All right. Now, number 4, connect with the right people.
Key.
Everybody's on LinkedIn. Okay. Everybody's on LinkedIn. Connect with mentors. Connect with people. Now, let's rewind this back. When you connected to mentors, you got to understand there are 2 types of mentors, right? Well, actually, there's one type of mentor, but it's 2 ways you can approach So you can approach that person like, hey, I just, I love, what you're doing. I'm a new person in cloud, or I'm a new person in tech. So I just want to see if it's okay if I ask you a few questions every now and then, if I'm stuck on something, just to pick your brain to see how I can solve a problem or whatever the case may be. They might say, yes, sure. What you can't go and do is say, hey, I want to make you, hey, Broadus, hey, Brian, hey, Chucky, or hey, Danielle. I've been following you a long time on LinkedIn. You're a great person that I'm learning from, and I love what you're doing. I want to see if I can get on a call with you so you can help me sort out how I can get into the cloud industry and strategize my career. Nobody's going to do that. That's for free. They ain't going to do that. I'm just giving you the real. Nobody's going to sit with you one-on-one unless they're a great friend or a great friend recommended them and they doing it on the strength of a great friend. Nobody's going to sit with you one-on-one to dissect your entire career and create a strategy for you to get in tech.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's going to do that. Okay? So be mindful of how you approach people and understand at one point in this transition, you're going to have to start investing in yourself. Okay? So join online discourse and groups and engage. So join those groups and give back. I keep telling people, whatever you learn, somebody is behind you trying to learn the same thing. So while you take it from these groups, just give. Be like, hey, I know this is basic, but for somebody who's learning this, I wanted to share this with them. Maybe some documentation that you came by, or maybe a project that you've been working on. It doesn't matter. You're not going to look stupid because people are just like you and they're behind you. The people that you think and you look at and say, that person is super smart. Oh my God, I could never be like them. Be the exact same person when you actually get into the industry. You see their work ethic and you be like, how did you get this job? I used to look up to you.
Yep.
You ain't doing nothing. You're not working. I'm working. So link with recruiters to chat about what roles they have. Reach out to the recruiters. Hey, Mr. or Mrs. Recruiter, I noticed that you're a recruiter at such and such. I'm a person trying to transition into tech or cloud or whatever the case may be. I wanted to see if you had any roles available that's for junior developing talent. They might not even respond, right? Because you got to understand, recruiters are salespeople, and recruiters' best interest is their clients, which is the companies they work for. So if you don't fit the description of people they should have in a pipeline, they may not respond to you. Don't take it serious. Don't take it personal. It's just part of the game. Just keep knocking on the doors till you get those recruiters that respond, and then you just have the conversation, okay? And reach out to other engineers that work for you, that work for your favorite companies. So, if you got somebody that's working at AWS and that's your dream job, make sure you reach out to them to talk about how they're doing things they do at the AWS and, the culture there. I see you want to say something, Brian, as well.
Yeah. I just want to say that when I look through this list and I think about, when I was first starting off and you were suggesting these things to me, obviously I connected with you. You were my mentor. But let's talk about what's easy on this list. Joining the online Discord or groups and engage with people there, right? They can't really see you. You don't even have to add your picture. You can really just engage with users there, right? But let's talk about the hard things, like linking with recruiters, right? Sharing your experiences on LinkedIn or connecting with folks on LinkedIn, reaching out to engineers that actually work for these companies. These are all things that, for me, were outside of my comfort zone. And I remember pushing them off at first when Broadus told me. He was like, did you message recruiters? Yeah, not yet, man, not yet, because it was an uncomfortable place for me, right? Until you get, I don't want to say desperate, but until you are, that burning desire to break into the industry is overtaking you, right? And then you start doing things out of your comfort zone, and then you start seeing the reaction to the things that you're doing that were originally out of your comfort zone, and then it become commonplace to you, and then you start seeing results.
Yes. Now, might not seem like it, right? But all these things we're telling you to do can get you a high-paying role. So even if you get approached by a company that's not really paying the salary that you want, rinsing and repeat once you get into that role. Let's say you say, I'm going to take this role to get into the industry. Rinsing and repeating is going to get you the bag. This is something you can rinse and repeat at all times, okay? So let's talk about that. Let's talk about once you get that recruiter's attention and they say, you know what, we have a role for you.
Mm-hmm.
We want you to go ahead and send us your resume. You sent the resume. They say, we want to interview you. Now you're like, they want to interview. Oh my God, I don't even know what they going to ask me. Oh Lord, what am I going to do? Oh, has that been, who's been on an interview right now? Put the L, you've been on an interview and you were scared to death. Let me see that. You've been on an interview, you were scared to death.
Terrified.
Oh, geez, what are you going to do? So I don't even, see, I'm telling you, when you get that, this is what you're going to do. Always be confident, no matter what. I've seen people with no skills that got in the door because they was confident.
Yep.
Because they were confident.
Yeah.
Didn't have the skills, but they was like, I'm confident I'll be able to learn that and help you solve your problem. They're like, we love this person. They're just passion and hunger. Oh my God. All right. So any skills that I mentioned in the interview, make sure you have work projects or personal projects to back your own experience. So once again, right? So you're going to say, how can I do that? Because in the beginning, I told you, you're going to be researching these roles and understanding the skills they're going to want you to have.
Yep.
And you're going to tailor your path to be able to learn those skills what they want. So when you get into the interview, you should already have some personal projects or something that you, maybe even something you're doing at work that can relate to how you can help them solve problems. You see how this time together?
Yeah. And I remember when I was going through the interview process, I would look through there and find a technology that I did not have that maybe was a requirement or preferred. Yep. And I would literally go chase down the technology, see what I could find about it. All right. I remember doing that for one role I was applying for. I forgot who it was with, but they were using CodeFresh. Had no idea what CodeFresh was. And I said, brothers, man, I found it. You know, I think I found a documentation on this thing. I'm just about to try it, and I'll be dang if that thing popped and that CI/CD pipeline worked. And I threw that thing on my Medium account. And when the recruiter called me back and we were interviewing, they mentioned that project. I was like, oh my goodness.
You know what I mean? It is, right? That's how you get in the door. And you aligning your own experience with how you can help them solve problems.
Yeah.
Right? So not only you have experience with that technology, but you could talk about what they're doing with it and how you can help learn that so you can solve the problems.
Yeah.
Now, one thing about confidence is being confident enough to say you don't know.
Ooh,
so
that's hard.
When you don't know, but always make sure that they understand that you are passionate to learn. Mm-hmm. They ask you something, you can't be like, I don't know. I don't have experience with that.
Yeah. Or if you know it at a high level and you know what it is and what it's supposed to do, just say that. You know, while I haven't, in my experience, while I haven't had the chance to deal with that technology, I know that it does X, Y, Z.
Yes. And when if you say, I don't know, they're going to be like quiet and they're going to be like, well, are you willing to learn it?
Yeah.
Yes. I'm willing to learn it.
Right.
You got to be confident, right? Hey, I haven't had experience with that, but I'm pretty sure I'm able to get up to speed to be able to help y'all solve problems with that. I'm pretty confident in that.
Yeah.
They're like, okay. Think about this. Think about if, you have somebody trying to come babysit. If you have kids trying to babysit your kids and they came recommended 2 people and one person, knew stuff about, babysitting and both of them did. Well, one of them, when you asked the question, said, I don't know. And the other one said, well, I've never done that with a child before, but, I'm able to learn if you want to teach me. And I'm pretty confident I'll be able to take care of that while you're away. Which one's going to make you feel better about hiring them to be able to keep your kids while you're gone? Think about that, right? And always be sure to research the role and understand the salary. I told you that from the get-go on step number 1. Understand the salary expectation. So when they come to the table and say, what is your salary expectation? You need to do your homework to understand how much they're paying or how much the industry is paying for this role.
Yeah.
You don't sit there and say what you think they want you to hear so you get the job, because you might beat yourself out of some money. Yeah.
And it's okay on that first initial screening on, asking, what is the hiring range you all are targeting for this role? Right. I did that because I'll be honest with you, other than brothers telling me what I could get, going into the role, every company has different budgetary restrictions, different rubrics that they go by on HR, whatever the case is. And you don't want to ask for a range that's way over what their actual target range is for the role, right? Because that can eliminate you before you even get a chance to talk about your skill set.
Right.
So it's okay to ask that question and look at every single interview. Everyone you go on is a conversation, right? Because while you think that every role is a good fit for you, when you are looking to jump in the industry, it's not, right? Every manager is not a good fit, for a junior person, right? Every senior person that's on the team might not be a good fit for you as that junior person, right? So everything has to align perfectly because you want to go in an environment in which you can learn it. And in order to do that, you have to get that from the interview. So do you have any extra questions brought us, for us today at such and such, say, a company? Don't say no.
Right. I sure do. We have those questions written down. You know what? I'm going to share these questions with y'all, right? 4 questions that I tell people to ask, and maybe Brian can ask something. Get your notes, get your pads, get your pad. Right? You ask, okay, what does support look like for me in this role? All right. Okay. Write that down. Okay. Second question. I got 5. Second question. What would it mean for the company if I'm successful in this role? So if you haven't gotten to the salary part yet, maybe you get to the salary part in the second interview. This question right here could get you the answers of what what it means as far as success to the company. Okay. Now you can say, what are the greatest attributes of your best employees? What are the greatest attributes your best employees possess that makes them successful in this role? Okay. And then you can say, what are the worst attributes that your worst employees you ever had that you had to let go? What made them bad in that role, right? One of the most important questions you can ask is, are there any skills that you wish I have had that would have made me more successful in this role? Right then and there, they're going to tell you, if they say, yeah, you could have had this, that, other, then you're probably not going to move to the next round.
Yeah.
But if they say, no, I think you're pretty solid, then there's a great chance for you to move to the next round. Those are the important questions. You got any questions you add, Brian? Or did I?
No. Those are all great questions. I do ask. Sometimes it's hard if the manager is interviewing you, but in many cases, in my interviews, and I've been through a lot. I've been through the coding reviews, the demos, the panel interviews, the one-on-ones with no cameras on. I've been through it all, right? The one I asked is, how would you explain the culture of the team? Or ask them, the junior people, what is it like to be a junior, senior, whatever it is on this team? Those are questions that I usually ask.
Now, that's questions too. Sometimes you might get interviewed by a whole team.
Yep. So that's when they ask the
5 people on this call.
Right. I don't ask the manager that question typically. So.
Yeah. So Kayla, repeat the questions. What does success look like, or what does support look like in this role? All right. What would it mean for the company if I were to be successful in this role? Okay. What are the greatest attributes your most successful employees possess? What are the worst attributes your least successful employees possess? And are there any skills that you wish I had that would make me more successful, that can make me more successful in this role? All right. So let me get this here. All right. So now we're down to the questions. We gave y'all the steps that you need to get a high-paying role. Look, Yetunde couldn't win. How would you answer these questions when the recruiter initially contacts you? So thank you for asking that question. You wouldn't ask these questions for a recruiter. You would ask these questions in the second round. The recruiter is just there to make sure you got the experience. The recruiter is going to ask you how much experience you have in something. So remember this. I'm going to give y'all a tip too. If you don't have experience, you don't say you don't have experience. You say, I've been exposed to. Mm-hmm. All right. So if they say, how much experience do you have with Python? You're like, well, and you start talking about your projects. right? So because once again, if you align the skills and you looked at the skills they need you to have, you already have some projects that align with Python. So you say, well, I've been exposed to this scenario and that scenario when I was using Python. This is how I solve problems, right? That's experience. You're just wording it different. You're not saying, well, I don't have 2 years of experience with Python or 3 years. You be like, well, I've been exposed to. You switch it on them. You switch it quick on their feet. If they hit you with the side part, you go, you switch your stance. And they're going to be like, oh, all right, yeah. Because most recruiters are not technical. So they just checking the mark off because, once again, their obligation is to make sure their client, which is the company they work for, get the best people in the door. And you just exemplify confidence. Anything you want to add there too, Brian?
No. I mean, I think that's right. I think Yetunde is asking is, how do you answer the questions? How much are you making right now? How much are you expecting to make in this role? My response to that is a good recruiter is going to tell you the hiring range for this role.
Yes.
Right.
Sorry, I completely
and then you, as the candidate, which ain't no secret, don't pick the bottom number. Right. I don't care how much experience you got. Don't pick the bottom number if they give you a range. You know what I mean? Be fair. Obviously, you want as much as you can get, right? But don't. If you don't have experience, don't go to the top of the hiring range. That's my suggestion because I'm pretty conservative. So, yeah.
So I see Tamaris Bryant, when you got your first position, what were your initial feelings on the first day?
Imposter syndrome, straight up overwhelmed. Like, oh my God, how am I fixing to learn all of this? It was probably like that for 2 weeks. Right. I mean, it was just so much, right? So many operational, so much code everywhere from years and years and years. And it's just like, oh my God, it's a lot to learn. And everything that anybody repeated to me on my first day, they probably had to repeat it 2 or 3 more times because I'm just trying to get my computer set up on my first day, right? But sometimes in those companies that are startups or coming just out of the startup phase, you hit the ground running. And when I mean hit the ground running is you're just a sponge to as much as you can take in that 8-hour period. Don't worry about the next 8 hours until you get there, right? Take your notes. All that you can. You're not going to understand the lingo, the verbiage, the abbreviations that they use. Don't worry about that. I can promise you by, at the end of month 1, month 2, definitely by month 2, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Totally. And that goes for me as a person now with experience. If I jump into another role at any point in time, I have a learning curve as well, too, because everywhere does stuff differently. It's the same in this industry as it is if you worked at Target, Walmart, Best Buy, or any other company, right? There's a learning curve to learn how they do things at that company. And then you can look at how you can improve it. So,
yeah. Thank you, man. I really appreciate you sharing that because, imposter syndrome is real. Right. And it never goes away. So like even for CEOs, executives, directors, they feel the same way you feel. Yep. So don't think this is something unique to you. And let me see. Danielle said, are certifications necessary?
I like that one. I've been waiting for it.
Would you stand out if you had them? You want to take that question?
Yeah. Are certifications necessary? Okay. This is Bryant. Okay. Certifications are not necessary in terms of can you do the job?
Right.
Are they necessary to get noticed and stand out? Yes. Right? Because HR loves that. Oh, he got this certification. Let me check that box off. All right, let me keep going down the resume now. Oh, I see years of experience. All right, we're going to check that off. All right. I see this keyword. Boom. All right, let's check that off. So are certifications necessary to know how to use the technology? Absolutely not. But are they necessary to get noticed and stand out to HR? Absolutely. And if you want to make it past round 1, I suggest you have a certification. That is me.
All right. So I definitely totally agree. Certifications get you noticed. The skills and projects get you in the door.
Yep.
All right. So if you don't pass a certification, it's okay. It's not the end all be all. Right. If you've done extensive work in that area, and you just can't pass the certification. Okay, talk about your experience, because you got people out here with 5, 6 AWS or Azure or GCP, which is Google Cloud certifications, that can't build a damn thing. Let's keep it all the way honest. All right. So I want to ask y'all a question. So, how many of y'all right now just like, yo, I'm overwhelmed. I don't know where to start. I just want to focus on learning path to be able to help me be successful. How many of y'all put the LUs in the chat if that's you? That's what I want to know. I see 1. So yeah, I see 2. So no more? Let me see. Tony. All right, I see. Yeah. That's you.
Guess who that was in December of 19 before I even joined Level Up in Tech. That was me.
Yes, right.
So don't feel bad if you haven't put an LU in there yet because you're embarrassed or pride getting in the way. That was me.
Yeah, it's okay, right? So what we want to do is we want to help you move into the industry. We want to help you get your foot in the door and get that job that you want. All right, we have a proven track record. 2 people already on this call. Tamara Armstrong right now, who just accepted her offer today. Today. Give her a hand clap. Give her a hand clap, everybody. Give her a hand clap. Brian Richard, who's been through the program. Man, this man is shining star. Both of them. Shining star. We want to help you do the same thing. The only thing we ask for is commitment from you to come and do the work. All right. So what I'm going to do, let me get here real quick. Let me put this thing in here real quick. Call to action. Let us help you now. Click here. All right. So I'm going to put a URL. I'm going to share that in the comments. Right on top of the comments. If you are ready to take your career next level, I want you to fill out an application for Level Up in Tech right now. We got 24 weeks of solid work that's going to help you build your career and take it to the next level.
And then I'm going to supplement that by when you click here, you understand there's no obligation. It don't cost you nothing to fill out an application.
Nothing.
We just straight up, we'll talk to you. We'll get with you and talk to you. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yep. So once you fill out the application, if you say, this is for me, this is what I want to do, in the code, put high paying role. And you're going to get automatically, you get a discount. Automatically. But we want to help. That's why we do sessions like this. Like, we want to help and give you the information. Even if you say, hey, that ain't for me, this could be able to help you be successful on your own terms. Right? But if you want something that's streamlined, that's going to help you move. Listen, I don't think y'all understand. 6 months ago, Tamara didn't know anything. Nothing about tech. Nothing. You see what I'm saying? She just signed an offer today. Getting her foot in the door. That's you if you want it to be you. But you got to be dedicated to make sure you understand what it's going to take. It ain't going to be easy. But you got coaches that's going to help you move through the system and understand what you need to do. We're going to purposely frustrate you. We're going to help you. You're going to be frustrated with roadblocks. That's what it is. It's building your experience. Mm-hmm. Click on that application and fill it out. Let's talk. Let's have a chat. Let's do the things we need to do to build your career and take your career to the next level and get you that high paying role and get your foot in the door so you can get an even high paying role. All right. Thank you, Tamara. As long as you work, all the coaches in the Level Up Tech community will not leave you. As long as you work. As long as you work.
As long as you work.
As long as you work. We ain't going to work it for you. You got to do the work if you want to. In order to get somewhere you've never been before, you got to do things you've never done before, okay? So go ahead, take that link. Make sure y'all click on the link, fill out that application. We are here. You can connect with me on LinkedIn. I know y'all are connected. Connect with Brian. Brian, if you want to everybody put their LinkedIn URLs in the comments so everybody can connect with each other. You know what I'm saying? This is something where, y'all just start connecting, start building. Put your LinkedIn URLs in there. For Tamara or Brian, what was the hardest part of the first 3 months of the LU program, and how did your brain comprehend all you were learning?
The hardest part in the first 3 months was learning all of the terms, right?
Yep.
What the heck is a virtual machine? What is a sandbox? It is, oh my God. I was like, man, I have no idea what they are talking about. You know what I mean? But you got to understand the culture of our community is it's okay to ask those questions. Hey, look, I'm in week 1. You know, my coach said I need to spin up a virtual machine. How in the hell do I do that? You know what I mean? It's okay. Right. Now, when you start to get into month 3, hey man, I got to err on this project. You know, we're going to ask you a couple of questions before we help you get to the answer, but we not fixing to give you the answer. Ask Tamara, we are not going to give you the answer. And we might wait for a little bit before we reply to see if you do any research.
Yeah.
On purpose.
But we want to and we do that because we want to help you understand how your thought process is solving the problem. You know what I'm saying? So that's what happens. You know, you gotta get your own process. We show you, but then you gotta learn like, okay, the first thing I'm supposed to do is this. Second thing I'm supposed to do is this. Okay, I'm looking here. I haven't. Hey guys, I need your help. I've tried this and I've tried that, and we look at. Okay, great. Now
cool. Yep.
Because in the real world, you can't have something that don't work and say, "Hey, this is not working." They can be like, "Okay, what have you tried so far?" "Oh, nothing." They be like, "Oh, nah, we don't do that. You gotta be self-sufficient a little bit." All right. So look, I want to make sure that everybody got value from this. If you got value, put the LUs in the chat. Like seriously, I want to make sure you got value from this particular live event. All right. And if you got value that you're looking for, I want to make sure y'all share the experience with this webinar today. Say, you know, hey, yo, this was a dope webinar. I appreciate the stuff that I learned at the Level Up in Tech webinar. And make sure you click on that link. All right. So keep leveling up in tech until next time, y'all. And hopefully next time I see all of y'all on your transitional journey.
And Level Up in Tech. Yeah. Come on and join us.
Come on and join us. So we're here for you. We're here to help. And it's getting late. I'm gonna get some dinner with the family. Brian, go get some dinner. Hey, we appreciate y'all. We talk to y'all later. See you.